I don't know if we are live streaming. It's always awkward in the first few seconds, but
I see live on Facebook.
okay, yeah, we are live. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ohio Green Party June monthly live stream with the Young Greens. My name is Austin Bashore. I am the Deputy Social Media Manager of the Ohio Green Party and representative to the Young Greens National Committee. I'm joined by two amazing people this month. We are joined by a representative from Rabharta Glas. They are the new Eco-Socialist Green Party in Ireland, as well as K.A. Hurd Jr., our local candidate for Cincinnati City Council in Ohio. Bobby, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Bobby Svetkov. As you might guess, I'm actually originally from Bulgaria, but I've lived in Ireland since I was 2. So for all intents and purposes, I'm Irish. Yeah, I'm here today to represent on Rabharta Glas, which is a brand new eco-socialist political party that we launched in Ireland at the beginning of this month. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. K.A., can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I am K.A. Hurd Jr., running for the Cincinnati City Council, representing Hamilton County Green Party and also the Ohio Green Party, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We also invited Logan Simmering, who is our second candidate for City Council in Cincinnati this year, but he's currently having technical difficulties, so he's unable to join us at the moment. So he might pop in here and there. But today we will be discussing eco-socialism and the pending capitalist crisis regarding the environment. So as we know, there are many issues around climate change in the United States, in Europe, and around the world. So what exactly to you is climate change? And we'll start off with Bobby.
Well, to me, climate change is basically the total collapse of our planet. So I would include the biodiversity crisis in that. Obviously, just by definition, climate change is the heating up of our atmosphere from the release of greenhouse gases and CO2. And this leads to unstable weather patterns, basically just more droughts, crop failure, displacement of people, animals dying, basically everything bad that you can think of. That's what I'd say climate change is.
Good, thank you. K.A., what is climate change to you?
It's definitely our Earth's long-term weather changing patterns that will create more hurricanes, more wildfires, things to hurt our forests, a lot of bad weather. I would definitely say, but it's definitely climate change to me is basically our change of weather patterns.
So there's a lot of confusion around climate change and the current economic system of many of the global countries. So the capitalist system is a system for those people who are new to these words. Capitalism is the current economic system of the United States. It is a system in which all the production of everything we use every day is owned by a private hand in a private corporation for a profit. So how is capitalism helping, or how did capitalism create the climate crisis? Bobby?
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Logan is here, everybody.
Hi, Logan. Capitalism in its nature is all about endless growth and extractivism. So with capitalism, everybody wants to endlessly expand whatever the business they're in. So I'll take agriculture, for example. In a capitalist society, people want to endlessly produce more dairy, more beef, more crops. And obviously, this is unsustainable because as you push for more and more growth, the planet's resources aren't equally increasing. So we've already reached the stage where humans are using more than the Earth can support us. I'm not specifically sure, but I think it's nearly 1.5 Earths we'd need to sustain at the rate we're all trying to live. So capitalism is the main driver of the climate crisis, and that's how it created it, in my opinion.
Yeah, if everyone lived as Americans, we'd need 3 Earths. KA, how is this capitalist system exacerbating climate change?
Well, my thoughts is the incentives that companies are getting to deforest our forests, the money that they are receiving to continue their growth, and greed. I feel like greed is definitely what people is running after, and they just want to keep on building and building and not thinking about our environment.
Yeah, you cannot have infinite growth on a finite planet. Logan is here now. So Logan, can you please introduce yourself? Possibly.
It cut out what, so I didn't hear what the actual question was.
Oh, well, first introduce yourself and then I'll ask the question.
Okay, Logan Simmering, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. I'm a union worker and endorsed by the Green Party here, which is why I'm on the Green Party Young Greens live stream.
Welcome to the Young Greens live stream. So our question right now is how
good enough in direction.
Well, welcome to the live stream. Our question right now is how did capitalism help to create the climate crisis?
I think capitalism did a little more than help to create it. Basically, just the continuous drive for intensification of production to derive profit, so irregardless of actual human needs, and the complete disregard for the impacts of any production process in the pursuit of those profits has led to a widespread destruction and climate change specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. So how is climate change being sped up by global capitalism? Logan?
Here it's so choppy. It's being sped up because of the investment cycle. We always have to continuously reinvest for additional profits. So you have to find new outlets, new markets to sell in, and more natural resources. And that requires producing more and being careless in how you produce everything, which leads to more emissions and more climate change.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys have questions while watching on the live stream, go ahead and shoot them in the comment section and we will ask them to our 2 candidates from Southern Ohio and our guest from the new Eco-Socialist Party in Ireland. So KA, how is climate change sped up by global capitalism?
I feel like the creators has found an alleyway, a lead way, and they just want to continue to do what they feel is right for their companies, for their growth, for their individuality, or whatever the case may be. They just love about how they are capitalizing on our environment. So it's just going to continue for them to keep on doing exactly what they are doing until we enforce some type of environmental law or something to say, like, look, we have to protect our environment. What are you doing for our environment instead of killing it? And how can we work together? But as of right now, people going to continue to doing what they're doing if it works for them. So it's just a leeway, an alleyway that they have found, and they will continue to do it, and it will speed it up because once you learn something the first time, You can do it faster the second time, so they will continue to do it and do it.
Bobby, how is climate change sped up by global capitalism?
Well, I think Hay and Logan touched on these things both, but basically once capitalism, or by its nature, capitalism is always looking for new markets to expand into and to grow. So, you know, even if you have places that are in the tropics or like the Amazon, you know, capitalism, once it starts to take hold there, it wants to start growing industries there. It wants people to start consuming. So once, you know, these big consumer markets form, anything, capitalism really doesn't value environmental protection or what is lost for the gain of profit. So it's speeding it up. It's speeding it up in every way by just not allowing their. It doesn't allow for a space on the planet that can be preserved because that's seen as a loss to capitalism because it is not being extracted or exploited in some way to create profit. So if you have an untouched, pristine rainforest, that has no value in itself to capitalism because it's not generating any value, any income, right? They're just seeing the tree sitting there that they think that could be turned into lumber or whatever. So it speeds it up by obviously releasing, destroying our carbon sinks and helping to release more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
So luckily over the past, I would say 4 years, the debates, the issues around climate change have become mainstream in American politics. So we see a lot of the time companies and corporations trying to go green. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren even introducing bills to green the US military and so-called green the bomb. So what is the main difference between ecological socialism, how we combat climate change, versus how the capitalist system would seek to combat climate change? Okay.
Oh yeah. So in my opinion, the main difference is for capitalism is just individual business owners or whoever the case may be who is trying to capitalize on the environment. They think individualized. How can they get better? How can they increase their business? How can they help themselves to grow in whatever field that they are in? And then for socialism, it's more putting limits to people, putting limits to individuals, companies, to what they can do, how they can grow their business in the appropriate way to not only help them grow, but also help our society, help our environment to be saved, to get better, to have more. I like trees, so trees is very important for shade and also to just protect us for as water and all kinds of things. But yeah, those are the main difference in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Logan, what is the main difference in the approach of ecology between capitalism and socialism?
I mean, ecology between capitalism and socialism?
Yeah, the approach towards ecology.
Oh, the approach to ecology. Capitalism is fundamentally exploitative of ecology, and socialism, while it can be, as we saw in the USSR, does not have to be. It centers human needs. And it can develop approaches to meeting those needs that are ecologically sound without having to sacrifice its fundamentals of profit seeking and market expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. Not every single socialist nation we've seen on Earth has been ecologically sound. So, Bobby, what is the fundamental difference between the approach of ecological socialism and capitalism?
It's not helping.
Towards just how it would solve the climate crisis, is it?
Yes.
Well, I think capitalism greatly believes that technology will save us from the climate crisis. It thinks that people can continue basically living the way they do and endlessly consuming, and we will figure out, tricks and loopholes to work around nature and continue uh, living the way we do. And this has led to a lot of greenwashing. So, as you said, there's been an explosion of every political party, every business trying to claim it's green now, and stuff like fishing. They say, oh, this is sustainable fishing, or this packaging is made from sustainable forests, or whatever. But then, if you look deeper into it, you find that it's really not sustainable, and it still has a complete lack of care about the environment, but it's offsetting maybe what was one problem for another, right? Whereas with eco-socialism, we understand that we need to live within our limits on this planet, and that we share it with other creatures, and that we need to find out how to do more with less, and break away from the capitalist model of endless growth and restructure and rethink about the way we live, and that there doesn't necessarily need to be growth, but sustainability.
Absolutely. If the people watching on Facebook have any questions, go ahead and put those in the comment section. We will ask them. But our last lightning question. So we are trying to build a future across the Atlantic of an ecologically sustainable future, an equitable future, and a just transition towards a end of non-renewable energy production. How can we achieve this as an independent political party away from the major parties? And how do we create the future that we are looking for? Logan? Possibly. Okay, KA, how do we create the future we are looking for?
In my opinion, promote recycling. Try to use less cars, especially we think in transportation. Try to use less cars on the road, and try to bike when we can, walk when we can. Have trails for different people that can get around. Make sure they are handicap accessible, so everybody can get around. Make sure we use clean energy whenever we can. Um, uh, spend I guess it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that's running in my mind right now for us. Don't waste food if we can give it away to other people, and help our homelessness, or help people that is in home. That's hungry. If you got leftovers, don't let it go to waste. Don't buy extra things that you don't really need at that time, so it won't spoil you. And that's my main three right now, but it's definitely, I feel like those three would definitely help, especially with transportation. Cut down on pollution, and ration is very important also. So that'll help cut down on cars also.
Good, thank you. Bobby, how do we create a just transition for the future that we are fighting for?
Well, the way I see this question is more so, how do we come together to compete with the behemoth that is global capitalism? And realistically, it's almost as if you could say we're fighting a losing battle, but never give up hope. And I think it's important for groups like us you know, like you have done to reach out from us from across the pond. That's really what it's all about. It's all about focusing on your communities, working from the bottom up, and really finding a way that we can find, you know, a way to exist outside of the capitalist system that we've been forced and pigeonholed into living in. So I guess for bringing about eco-socialist revolution, if you will, I guess our job is easier in Ireland in some ways because of the way our political system works. We don't need to compete with two massive big tent parties. We actually can form coalitions and things, but that's why you know, environmental groups and activism and protesting and voting are very much so at the heart of what we're trying to do, and really, you know, adjusting the way we live and basically passing on that information and knowledge to those that are close to us. That's how I see the best way to work towards that future is.
Awesome. Logan, how do we create the future that we want, that we are fighting for?
Mainly, we have to shift power downwards to workers and communities. So, like, for example, a lot of consumer consumption is driven by alienation from their labor and society and nature. So we need to be put in a situation where people feel less precarious and more in control of what they're doing. And there was another word I was going to use there. Just more secure and have fewer holes in their lives that they feel like they need to fill with things that they buy. And well, the process of that is we need to like attack power structures. So like organize unions and organize communities and change political systems so that more third parties can have a chance for ballot access laws and things. And I've lost. Okay, I'm done. I can't.
Okay, I wanted to thank all of our guests for joining us today. I want to thank all you guys watching live, and we will be back the third week of next month for our next Young Greens live stream. So please tune in and join in then. Thank you guys so much for joining.